What's up guys, it's me Frostbolt, and today I have a video that is going to be different than your typical gameplay video. I decided to do a quick overview of the new Titan subclasses and give you guys my quick opinion on which are the best in Crucible and what my exotics would be. This isn't meant to be a super technical breakdown with numbers and such. I'm just going to speak with my PvP experience and how these classes perform in a competitive mindset. To start things off, I want to talk about the weakest subclass out of the new three, the class called Burning Mao. I had high hopes for this class, seeing it had a throwing hammer and the super looked pretty alpha, but it turned out to be a class that looked good but didn't play good. With the heavy slam attack, you cannot one-shot an enemy super, unless we're talking about Spectral Blades, which doesn't count as one. The slam attack can be alright at times because a heat wave tornado has tracking and it travels a pretty good distance. The problem is that people will have time to react and can jump out of the way, usually leading into you spamming the heavy attack and not killing the jumping jelly bean. In terms of mobility, it could be worse. Thanks to its spinning light attack, you can use the ability to move towards your opponent quicker. While we're talking about the light attack, I'll let you know that it doesn't even one-shot enemy players. You're going to have to hit them more than once, and that will be difficult because the lock-on on the spin attack is very poor, meaning the players can jump away from you and it'll result in you just being a ballerina in front of them. You know, the super does come with a good amount of health, but there's no way to get it back after your first kill, and it'll result in you getting team shot or cleaned up by someone else. Sure, it can have some moments, you might be able to get a couple of nice kills and some feeds at times, but I'm here to give you the best and most consistent option. I wouldn't run Burning Mao over the top or the bottom tree Sunbreaker. Both trees are better, with the top tree being the most popular one. I will say that people are sleeping on the bottom tree, but I can't blame them. Who doesn't want a shoulder charge and molten course on their super, right? It's too good to pass up on. That leads me to the next thing I want to talk about, which is the Burning Mao's neutral play being very weak. We get a basic grenade that the two other trees have access to, and our melee becomes a hammer throw, a wimpy one. Getting kills with the hammer can be pretty fun and satisfying, but it isn't something you'd use while trying to win against an enemy. If you lose your hammer, you basically have a really basic Titan with nothing going for it. The health regen is nice when you don't die trying to retrieve your hammer, and that's going to happen a lot. Usually, when you throw your hammer at someone, they are, pretty fair distance away from you, and you're gonna have to go run and go get it, which means you're not staying in cover, waiting for your health to come back up, and that's not good. I don't like that. The top tree remains king for the Sunbreaker class. Let's talk about Sentinel next and the new set of perks. Right away, I'll tell you that the super is going to work the same way as the top and bottom tree supers. All you get is a bigger shield that you could try to take advantage of by getting your teammates to shoot through it, but let's be real, no one is going to sit there with their super just so someone else can get kills. It's your super, you want to be the one going in and getting all the action. Also, before I go on, just a quick little tutorial on how to get the most out of Sentinel in terms of mobility and getting kills. I'm going to show it on the screen here. You're going to want to walk forward, you're going to jump, you're going to melee, and then when you melee the second time, you're going to do a shield bash, and the shield bash is the most reliable way to get your kills. And then after that, you just wait till you hit the floor again before you do the same action again. But anyways, let's continue. In all honesty, this tree makes a good time for you when you're trying to just go melee and grenade people and you get like explosions and stuff like that. Why? Well, because you get these detonator things whenever you hit somebody with them. They give you some health back. And it applies to your super as well, which is great. So the health regen, it's very minimal. It's not as good as top tree, which is what I don't really like, which is why I'm ultimately going to say that the top tree is better. But I just won't deny the fact that getting some plays with the detonator perks, getting people to explode and stuff like that, is pretty fun. It's actually pretty enjoyable just seeing people explode, and sometimes you get like a 2-piece, maybe you get even a 3-piece and more. But I just gotta be honest, man. That overshield in the health region on the top tree Sentinel is just way too good to pass up on, man. Keep in mind that the top tree melee doesn't even have to be charged for you to get health region off melee kills, which makes the neutral play so good. While I still recommend the top tree Sentinel, running mid tree isn't necessarily bad. It has a weaker neutral play, but it could be more fun due to the explosions you cause, so it just ends up being your option at that point. I wouldn't run bottom tree, even if you really want to run at people and shield bash them. You want to take advantage of the health region you get from the other trees. Now, to finally talk about my favorite new super, the best one right next to the top tree Sentinel, we are talking about the Missile Striker and its perks. Dude, I love this thing. It's so good, and right off the bat, we get a consistent super that will always do its job, which is to annihilate anything it crashes into. It literally kills everything and anything. You can jump, but it'll get you. You can run, but it'll come chasing you. This is a panic super, but it's gonna bite you in the butt if you try to use it like that all the time. Your super has a short animation where your Titan will charge up, and during that time an enemy can shock and melee you, or you can just get team shotted through that animation. It's rarely gonna happen if you aren't reckless like I am. On PC, it is probably easier to move around while you're in your super, but moving around shouldn't be a problem because it's not that important to be able to steer left and right or in circles like I do on PC. I just do it to make it flashy. The Striker Missile is easily one of the best supers in the game. Getting the opportunity to move around before impact can help you fly into a multi-kill, you know? The weakest part of the class is probably the melee ability, but in my opinion, it really isn't as weak as it may seem. This charge melee can be as good as shoulder charge, and at times even better. This melee ability is meant to be used in the most reckless way. That's what you would think, but it doesn't always have to be like that. I'll break it down in two situations. In one situation, you can slam into someone from the air and follow up with a quick melee, and 90% of the time, you will catch this guy off guard and come out with a kill, or more if you make the play correctly, if you time it correctly, if you go into a triple down and stuff like that. In a more passive way, you can use his melee to finish someone off that is weak. Being able to charge up around a corner, then jump into the air will give you the element of surprise to get that quick kill, and your enemies won't be able to react, So this ability isn't meant to only give you kills. There are situations where you can make a tier 1 play by using your ability to get out of situations and stay alive, which sometimes can be more valuable than a trade. Alright, let's talk about one of the best PvP perks in the game, man. Inertia Override. This perk auto reloads your weapon when you slide over ammo. There is special ammo everywhere in Crucible, bro. You will always find ammo to slide over, but the auto reload is not really what I'm trying to sell here. You also get extra damage on any weapon for a short period of time. And that short period of time is approximately 3 seconds. So for 3 seconds, any weapon you decide to use has increased damage. You can swap weapons and the perk will still be active. To give you an idea how much damage we're talking about, take Ace's Spades for an example. With Memento Mori, Ace will do 93 to the head. With the perk active, you're going to do 112 damage. That's 12 more damage per shot. That's a 2-tap, bro. Your Ace doesn't 2-tap, but with this perk, it will. This basically turns your shotguns also into super consistent one-shot kills. And in range where you'd usually get a hit marker, the perk will allow you to get that one-shot kill. This perk is amazing, man. I love it. You will have to get into a habit of sliding a lot, but trust me, sliding around the map has always been something the higher tier players have been doing, so you're going to want to learn and adapt it to your playstyle. It's difficult to say which of the 3 striker trees is best. The top tree is popular because of shoulder charge plus the skull fort helmet synergy. I do think the better option is the mid perks due to the better neutral play and the better super. This is the same situation as Sentinel, where you can just go with whatever you want at this point because they're all kind of pretty much the same way of just being consistent and good, right? But I will go middle. As far as exotics go, I won't mention any of the new exotics because of how rare they are, and I can't assume all of us have access to them, especially because I don't. Crest of Lupi and Centoceps are going to be those exotics that you can run in whatever class you want, so those are your options, right? I'll give you a significant amount of health back whenever you use Barricade and stuff like that, and then, the melee Centoceps, obviously extra range and stuff like that. You already know the deal. When you're using Striker with mid-tree, I would recommend Skull Fort, because every time you get a kill with Ballistic Slam, you're going to get it back, and you're going to get health regen off of that, which is going to help you when you do those risky, dive-in plays. Also, Synthos, when you use that perk, can proc, where you can one-shot people. You can be in the air, you'll dive into 3 people, and boom, the one-shot mechanic procs, and then you get all 3 of them, which is pretty crazy, Or you can run Dune Marchers, which kind of does the same thing. You dive into somebody, and that AoE effect will one-shot the other players. So you got options right there. Dune Fangs for Sentinel would be pretty good. I say Mask of the Quiet One as well, but last time I used that thing, it seemed like it wasn't working, so unless they fixed it, I wouldn't run it. For Sunbreaker, Hollowfire Heart has become a really good option. I think that's what it's called. There's that chest piece that makes your abilities regen quicker. But, it becomes even better once your super's all the way charged, and at that point you're basically playing Mayhem. So that's what I have to say in terms of exotics. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the quick little overview and my thoughts on the new perks and the supers. Striker Missile is the best one out of the new classes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This one took a little bit more effort and was something I really haven't really done in the past. But if you liked the video and you want more like this, make sure you show your support. I'll get better at them and continue to do more. But anyways, take it easy, guys. Peace.